Hi everyone, welcome along to today's training session. My name is Roshni and I'm part of the customer team here at SuiteFiles. So today's training session is going to cover SuiteFiles integration with Xero Practice Manager, aka XPM, and an important part of the integration is our Chrome extension, which provides most of the functionality that we will be looking at today. Just some general information before we get started. If you do have any questions, please make use of the Q&A section, which you can see in the webinar tool panel. I'll keep an eye on any questions and answer them as we go along. We also have recordings of these sessions that we hold up on our YouTube channel, which is called SuiteFiles. So just jump onto YouTube and type in SuiteFiles. You'll be able to find our channel and our various training videos. There are also other ways that we can help with your training. The primary way is to access our Help Centre. If you're in the SuiteFiles web app, which you can hopefully see me logged into on the screen here, click on the Help Centre from the drop-down, and that will take you through to help.suitefiles.com. So it has a getting started guide. It also has the steps to set up your integration with Xero. So under the apps and integrations section, there's full steps for setting up the Xero Practice Manager integration and then using Xero Practice Manager and the SuiteFiles integration. So those are two key articles that you might want to read up on, as well as installing the SuiteFiles Chrome extension. But I'm going to step you through using the Chrome extension and the functionality on offer throughout today's session. And if you get stuck along the way, you can always reach out to us via email at support@suitefiles.com. Okay, so let's get started. The very first thing that we need to do is install the Chrome extension. So because the Chrome extension offers all of the functionality that we will be covering in today's session, it is really important that you have this installed. This also does mean that you'll need to be using the Google Chrome browser as well. So the way to download the Chrome extension is to log into your SuiteFiles. You can see me here. Click on the username in the top right corner and then select Download Apps. From there, you'll want to select the download button just below the Chrome extension option, and this will take you to the Chrome web store. So once you're here, just click Add to Chrome and then Add Extension. And then once you've done that, you'll get this pop-up that shows that SuiteFiles has been added to Chrome. So you'll see the SuiteFiles icon in the top right corner of your browser. So the next thing that we need to do is log in to the Chrome extension. So what you'll need is your site URL, your Office 365 email address, and your Office 365 password. So those will be the same credentials that you use to log in to your SuiteFiles site. So the easiest way to get your site URL is to jump back into SuiteFiles and then copy and paste your site URL into the Chrome extension login page. So I've now got my site URL on my clipboard. I can just click on the Chrome extension icon from here. I don't need to go back to the other tab that I was on. Wherever I can see this, I can click on that once and that will bring up the login screen. So we'll paste our site URL into this field, then pop in our Office 365 email address and our Office 365 password. Now, if you are using two-factor auth, then you'll want to opt for the advanced login option, which you can see here. Otherwise, simply click log in. And once that's done, it's authenticating, then you'll see a message that pops up showing that you're logged in with your email address and which site you are attached to. So this icon is great as well if you're wanting a really quick way to open SuiteFiles. So if you're starting with a blank browser tab, you can click on the SuiteFiles logo here and then click Open SuiteFiles. And if you're logged into the Chrome extension, then that will automatically log you into the SuiteFiles web app as well. So what we'll do next is take a look at the functionality that is provided by the Chrome extension in the Xero Practice Manager interface. So here I am logged into XPM. And first of all, I'll take you through the process of creating a new client in XPM and what happens in SuiteFiles. So we'll go for one that doesn't yet exist in my SuiteFiles site. So a new client perhaps has come on board and I need to add them into the system. So I'm going to navigate to my clients in XPM. And then I'm going to click New Client. And I'm going to come up with a really good name for my accounting firm. Oh, someone's already done this one. Okay, so I'm going to have to come up with another one. There we go, original. So once you have created the client, you'll of course be entering a lot more details than what I am entering. But once you've got your new client and you click save, then that's when the SuiteFiles Chrome extension will kick into play. So you'll see a little blue wheel in the bottom right corner of your site. And this is what's going to happen. You're going to get asked if you would like to create an MSF accounting client folder in SuiteFiles. So that's what I want to do. And at this point, I can also select a folder template from the drop down here. Now, if you don't yet have any folder templates in your list, I encourage you to pop along to our basics training. Those are held on Mondays, and we go through the process of creating them in your SuiteFiles site. Otherwise, pop onto our Help Center, just type in folder templates and you'll see full step-by-step instructions on how you can create those in your SuiteFiles site. So I'm going to select the new client company set of folders. This is going to set up all of my financial years, a permanent folder, a correspondence or an email folder. Depending on how you like to set up new clients, you can specify the folder structure that you use below. Then click Create. And a couple of things are going to happen here. So first of all, we have now a link that will take us directly to our clients folder in SuiteFiles. So we can click on this and that's going to direct me to the MSF accounting folder in SuiteFiles. You can also see here that we have all of the folders that were formed part of my subfolder structure. Every time I create a new client, I can select that folder template, and this is the result of that. So that will give you the direct link into your SuiteFiles client folder. You can also navigate to the Documents tab of XPM. And here we have the SuiteFiles Documents tab. So we've overlaid our own interface on top of the standard XPM system. And from here, you can see that you can upload a document, you can create a new folder, and you've also got a link to open the folder in SuiteFiles as well. So let's say we want to create a new folder, we want to maybe create a new financial year. We can type in the folder name, and again, if we want to, select a folder template, click Create, and that will create the new folder right from within XPM. If we were to now navigate back to our MSF accounting folder, we can see now that that 2021 folder is listed as is its subfolders. If we want to upload a document, we can just click on this Upload a Document button. And we can select an item and then upload that to SuiteFiles via the Chrome extension. If we were to click on that file from within the Xero Practice Manager interface, that's going to open up the file for you in SuiteFiles. If you need to get back home, you can either click on the back arrow or click home. That's going to take you to that top level for that particular client. So other things that will happen if we were to make any changes to the client in Xero Practice Manager. So let's say we need to rename the client. So I'm just going to jump under Options and then select Edit. Now, if I do this at the XPM end, and I've got the Chrome extension installed, then what's going to happen is once I click Save on that name change in XPM, then again that same folder prompt is going to appear on my screen, and it's going to ask if I would like to also rename the folder in SuiteFiles. So the new name will be MSF Accounting Services, and I will click Yes. And so that will kick in, and you can see here that that folder is now called MSF Accounting Services in XPM, and in SuiteFiles, if we were to jump back again and we'll do a filter for MSF Accounting. We can see that it comes up with MSF Accounting Services. So those changes just take effect in SuiteFiles if you make those original edits in XPM. Finally, we have the ability to archive in Xero Practice Manager, and if we were to do that, we can also archive the client folder at the SuiteFiles end as well. So that will keep your site nice and tidy. So if we click yes to that, we are going to archive the folder in SuiteFiles. Just note on this particular feature, it depends on how you have your archived settings in your file preferences. That will determine whether or not you actually still see the client folder or not as you're navigating in SuiteFiles. So if we were to go into our file preferences, just click on your username in the top right corner, click User Profile Settings and File Preferences. It's this option here which will determine what you see. So I've just got my options set to no right now. That means that I will not see any archived content while navigating my files and folders in SuiteFiles. But if you had this set to yes, we just save those changes by clicking the X in the top right corner of that window. If we were to now look for MSF Accounting, we will see it. So that's just an important functionality to be aware of. You might archive something in Xero, but you might still be able to see it in SuiteFiles, and that's the reason why. So we'll just restore that back to normal. And again, if you were to restore, then that's going to ask if you want to unarchive that in SuiteFiles, which I'll do, so that's all consistent. So that's it with your folder prompts for clients. Now, there are some things to be aware of. So sometimes if you want to create a client name in Xero Practice Manager with an ampersand, the ampersand is actually a restricted character in SuiteFiles right now, as far as the Chrome extension is concerned. So when you do create a new client in XPM that includes an ampersand, then we will replace it with the word and in SuiteFiles. So I'll show you what I mean by that. If we jump into our clients list in Xero, and I'll just pop in something that we prepared earlier. So here we have client Jack and Jill. The and is using an ampersand. You can see that the ampersand has been replaced with the word and in SuiteFiles. This just allows us to match things up perfectly, so you won't get any error messages when we're trying to locate that client in SuiteFiles. This is important to note if you say have a client name in SuiteFiles that has an ampersand, you might find that when you come into the same client in XPM, that the link doesn't take place. So you can't actually see any link. It will say no client with this name exists in SuiteFiles. You might just want to jump back into SuiteFiles and rename that, change that ampersand to an and then that will ensure that those two clients will be able to be linked. The same goes for apostrophes and full stops in client names at the XPM end. We replace those with an underscore in SuiteFiles. So although it may not look the best, it's just due to those restrictions that we have through Office 365 and the original Chrome extension development. So while we do hope to be able to update that in the future, in the meantime, don't be alarmed if you see an underscore in a client name in SuiteFiles. It's just so that the files and folders can match correctly. So let me know if you have any questions on that. We're going to next take a look at the quote and jobs creation and how the Chrome extension prompts you to create a folder for it in SuiteFiles. So it's very similar to what we've shown so far for the client creation. I'm just going to jump back into the MSF accounting folder. And here we're going to create a new job. So we'll give that job a name. And then click Save. Again, you'll likely fill in a whole lot more information. And then what happens when we create the job in XPM is that SuiteFiles will prompt you and ask you if you would like to save a job folder within your client folder, jobs folder in SuiteFiles. So the folder structure will be your client name, followed by a jobs folder, then the job name and job number and name will be the folder name in SuiteFiles. So if you don't have a jobs folder already created within your client folder, then this process is going to create that jobs folder for you. You can also create a template if you need to, otherwise just click create and it's going to provide the link to the job in the top of the page here, as well as if you were to navigate to the documents tab within the job, it's going to show you a similar interface. This one is specific or dedicated to that particular job, but you can upload documents and create new folders if you like, and open that folder in SuiteFiles as well. So the same process actually happens with quotes. So if you were to create a quote in the XPM interface, then the same process applies for quotes. Instead, we'll just create a quotes subfolder and give it the quote number and quote name as the ultimate folder name. So it follows exactly the same process, so I won't go through that in today's session. So we can also export and print things like work papers and reports into your SuiteFiles site. So let's take a look first of all at work papers. It's possibly going to ask me to log in, so bear with me. There we are, in with a grin. Okay, so let's say we are using work papers and we have a work paper pack that we want to export. So we can export these work papers directly into SuiteFiles provided we have the Chrome extension installed. So I have a number of work papers that I'm going to export. I can click the drop down here and we can see the export PDF to SuiteFiles button, as well as the Export Zip to SuiteFiles button. So this first option will export all of the work papers into one PDF file, whereas this zip option will export all of the files individually as a zip folder, which you can then extract and access individually. So depending on your preference, you can click the option there, and what that will do is it will bring up the SuiteFiles interface, and from there you'll be able to navigate through your folder structure. You can use the filter on the right hand side to just narrow down those results, find what it is that you're looking for, and I'm just going to pop this into work papers. The name will be half complete for you, but you can overtype or edit that to suit yourself. And then we're just going to click save, and that's going to save that work paper to that location in SuiteFiles for you. So if we jump back into SuiteFiles, and this time we'll go to the clients, 99 Corporation, and under work papers, we can see if we just order by date last modified, we can see those work papers from the 17th of July sitting in that folder. Here's an example of what it would look like if you were to export as a zip file. So if we click on the zip file, then you can see all of those individual files are there for you. If you click on that link, that's just going to download that PDF for you. So if we jump back into Xero Practice Manager, the other functionality that's offered by the Chrome extension is if we're in reports, and I'll go all reports. So if we run a job report, and print, then what we're going to find again is an export PDF to SuiteFiles option. So right now, unfortunately for me, this button does not work, but there should be absolutely no problem at your end. So if you were to click on the export PDF to SuiteFiles option, then that's going to bring up exactly the same interface as what we saw for exporting work papers. You can navigate through your SuiteFiles site and save it into the folder that you want to save it into. So give that one a go. If you're printing reports to SuiteFiles, you might as well export them directly into your SuiteFiles site. It saves you having to download those and then drag and drop them in later. So finally, we'll just take a look at SuitePrint. This is really helpful if you have other Xero products that you perhaps will not see this export PDF to SuiteFiles option. Wherever you see that blue icon here, of course you can export to SuiteFiles, but some of the integrations don't have that. So if you find yourself wanting to save a report or another document or file into SuiteFiles, then all you need to do is jump into your print settings. So what we'll do is we'll use this report as an example, and you can see that I've got a print option here. So select that, and what you'll need to do the very first time you use this is select the destination. So click the destination drop down, click see more, and then you'll see the SuitePrint option. It has the SuiteFiles logo alongside it. So once your destination is selected as SuitePrint, you can just simply click the print button. And just like we've seen with exporting work papers or exporting reports, we will see the SuiteFiles interface. So we can click through our folder structure. We can use the filter here to find the client folder or folder that we want to store the file within. And we just need to give our file a name, and then click save. So once we've done that, then that's going to be saved in that location in SuiteFiles. So if we jump back to case clients, MSF, accounting services. It goes in the director and shareholder folder. There it is, the job report that I printed to SuiteFiles using SuitePrint. So that option works not only in Xero products that may not have the export PDF to SuiteFiles, but it also works wherever you are browsing the internet using Chrome, first of all, and provided you have the Chrome extension, that SuitePrint option that can definitely come in handy. It's not to say that that's the only way to get files into SuiteFiles. You can also download them and then drag and drop them into the web app. You can also drag and drop files into the Outlook add-in. So if you have Outlook open, you have the SuiteFiles Outlook add-in installed and open, you can navigate through to a folder in the add-in, and if you have a file stored on, say, your desktop, you can drag and drop that file into the Outlook add-in. And finally, if you haven't already got that installed, we do also have the SuiteFiles drive, so you can save files to the SuiteFiles drive using File Explorer. So if you haven't got those installed as yet, then I definitely recommend that you jump onto our Help Centre, read the Getting Started guide that does have all of the download links available to you. If you get stuck at any stage, then please feel free to reach out to us at support@suitefiles.com. Well, that brings us to the end of today's training session. Hope everyone found it valuable, and if you do have any questions, I'll leave the chat open for another couple of minutes, so it'll give you plenty of time to ask any questions that you might have. Thanks everyone for coming along, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks everyone.